Hello and welcome to Byjus Exam Prep IAS. As part of your daily quiz today, we'll be discussing very interesting questions which were in the news today. Before we begin, as always, we have all our initiatives back and I hope that you are engaging with our PTS, which is our Prelims Test Series. And also a very important announcement for one-to-one counseling. You can check the Google form which is given in the link, and the link is given in the description below, and you can fill this Google form to check if you want one-to-one counseling, anything related to UPSC. Generally, it is for your journey to become easier. So I hope you will fill this form and also interact with us with any question which you have generally with regards to your preparation. With this, let's look at the questions. First, straightforward standard questions, very interesting that ways. The INS Imphal, which was in the news quite a lot yesterday, which was recently in the news, is a Project 15 Bravo Visakhapatnam class guided missile destroyer. Second, it is capable of launching BrahMos missile, anti-submarine warfare rockets and torpedoes. Which of the statements are correct? And here, if you look at the first thing, there will be a contradiction wherein Visakhapatnam class and INS Imphal, but this is totally correct. All these, the INS Imphal, the next one which is going to be Surat, all are Project 15 destroyers, totally correct. And yes, it has the capability of BrahMos, and therefore both the statements are correct here. The context of this news was that this was inducted yesterday, and 2 to 3 very important basic information about it. First, it is combined gas and gas configuration, has 4 powered gas turbines, can go up till 30 knots. 75% of it is indigenously built, which is quite interesting because stealth technologies have been used from Indian companies in that regard, which is a new thing with regards to Project 15. Thereafter, let's look at the second question. Again, a very interesting one for art and culture, wherein the recent performance of 1-8-2 tabla players at the Tansen Festival, which entered the Guinness Book of World Records, was organized in which state? Kerala, Bihar, MP or Rajasthan? Straightforward quiz question. In the examination becomes difficult if you know it, you don't know it, you can't manage it. Here the answer is MP. Please learn this because it has gone into the Guinness Book of World Records. 1,282 tablas. Very, very important. Tansen Festival, art and culture news for you generally. Thereafter, something related to PLI scheme. PLI scheme, as you know, is a production link incentive scheme wherein if you touch a certain output, you start to get subsidies or in a way cashbacks from the government itself. If you are trying to export that surplus production, you get more incentives, and this has become a staple for the government of India to attract as much as investment as possible in different sectors. Now this question is based on that implied concept itself. Consider the following: automobile, pharmaceuticals, food products, manufacturing of medical devices. Which of the above have PLI scheme? And here you have to learn this, you should know this. All 4 are related to it. The PLI 2.0 for steel is now being envisaged, but you should know that there are 14 sectors in which different PLI schemes are working right now to make sure that we get as much as investment as possible and make sure that we are having an export oriented manufacturing sector where we hit certain production targets that is good for the Indian economy, and therefore thereafter the export also in that sense. Thereafter, a very interesting question coming out of the Northeast itself. With reference to the Northeastern Institute of Ayurveda and Folk Medicine Research, consider the following statements. The institute will scientifically document, record, research and validate the folk medicine of Northeast. This is coming out of the name itself, so this is a correct statement. It is functioning as the apex research center for all aspects of local health traditions, medical or medicinal practices, EMPs. Which is incorrect. And here the answer, as we can see, both are very formal statements picked up from the PIB website itself. Neither 1 nor 2 are incorrect. Both are correct statements. Now, this is something which you should know because now we're talking about folk medicine. The Ayush Ministry is already pushing it. This is something which becomes very, very important because this will help document all forms of folk medicine across India, and specifically here in Northeast, it will have a hostel, it will have a proper institute where students can research and validate everything. With this, let's look at the previous question. A simple one, but if you don't have any idea of advent of Europeans, you can't do this question. Who among the following rulers of medieval Gujarat surrendered due to the Portuguese? This is question. Ahmad Shah, Muhammad Begara, Bahadur Shah, Muhammad Shah. Now here you would get confused between these two, Begara or Bahadur Shah. Begara had nothing to do with due. He is the one who is related to the Battle of Due and Battle of Chaul. It is Bahadur Shah who went into an alliance with the Portuguese first in return for due if they help him defeat Humayun. However, Humayun later goes into an understanding with Bahadur Shah itself, and therefore that basic concept does not go forward. And but the Portuguese punish Bahadur Shah by not keeping his side of the deal, by basically taking due out of a basic small conflict, and therefore it was Bahadur Shah who gave in medieval Gujarat context due to the Portuguese. With this, let's look at the fact of the day. The fact of the day is a very interesting sensor, which is called non-invasive formaldehyde sensor. This was again in the PIB under Ministry of Science and Technology. This sensor helps us detect adulteration in fish at room temperature. Basically, with a lot of adulteration which is happening in fish, and fish can be quite poisonous when not eaten at the right level or with not the right what we call as configuration or nutrients, and if there's any form of adulteration can lead to death also. In that context, this can be used to check consignments and will be very, very important, can come in the examination generally. With this, we can then just reiterate the point that there's a Google form in the description and you can use it for one-to-one counseling if you need it. And I hope that you gave on Sunday the first PTS which we had, and on the coming PTS, which is economics and geography, you are going to again engage with it either online or offline. With this, I would like to end the session. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.